always forget the microphone. Turn it on. There we go. I always forget. I love that video so much, I forget the microphone. Anyway, good morning, guys. Welcome. Happy Monday. And a special thanks to Skill and Luck for saving the show today already. Skill already saved the show. When I made the schedule for all these shows, I had them all set to unlisted. So on YouTube, when you make a schedule for a thing or any video, you can make it public so you can all see it, unlisted so nobody can see it without the link, or private so nobody can see it ever. I had set them all set to unlisted for the week. So anyway, thank you, Skill, for getting me back straight again. So anyway, we're here, and let's just get right into the meat of the show here, because I got a couple things to talk about. One is catch it tonight. Ken from Ken Knows Gambling is going to be live tonight, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. He's got a live show. Have you been enjoying Ken, by the way? Ken's been great. I love Ken. He's a good friend of mine. And he's been fun. He's been doing this 20-0 series, basically taking whatever strategy he feels like and running it to see if it goes 20-0, right? It's very much like the paycheck that I started way back a couple years ago when we did the paycheck series. I did one strategy every day live for a month, which is essentially 20 days in a row. And it's like, hey, the thing goes, 80% win rate, we're going to be okay for the month, kind of a thing. And that's how we made the paycheck. Well, he's doing the same thing. He's got no dog in the fight, though, right? The difference is I was trying to win and work this thing and make my bankroll build. He's just having fun. And I think, I've talked quite a bit. I've talked to Gargoyle quite a bit about this and about how these channels of ours, all of ours, Jeff's and mine, everybody, we've got to have fun with the channels, right? If we're not having a good time doing this, that's going to come through the camera, and you're going to be like, this is boring and stupid. I don't want to do this anymore. Or I don't want to watch you anymore. So we're trying to find ways, all of us, to have the most fun we can while still providing some value, right? YouTube's got to provide value. It's also got to be fun for you and for us. So we're trying to find that balance of it, right? And Ken, I think, has found a pretty good balance. So check him out tonight. I'm sure he'll have some thoughts on the big game and all of that. So we'll see. I also had a nice talk with Dice Data, with Matt from Dice Data. Good guy, really good guy. We had a interesting conversation about, and I always talk to a lot, and I've talked to Will from Advantage Players Workshop here about how to run a channel, how to get a channel started, what's interesting to people, what I think is interesting, and what value I think they can add that I'm not adding or somebody else hasn't tried or whatever. Some way to fill in the gaps, sort of a thing, right? And that's sort of a cool thing when we talk about stuff like that. Anyway, he's a great dude. We talked about ways to have him, do what he's doing, right? Which is, run the analysis on these strategies, and they always come out the same, right? You always end up seeing after a million rolls the exact house edge of the bets, right? And I'm like, it should never be a surprise to you or anybody else that when you run a strategy, you can put the bets out there one time and say, here's the house edge on this bet, this bet, this bet, and this bet. Calculate those together. At the end of the million rolls, you see exactly that house edge play out. That's exactly the right message, right? It's the way the casino makes money. I've told you this before. The house edge is not a thing that you should trifle with, but also not care about. It's just a thing. There's just nothing you can do about it. Over the course of all those rolls, the casino will always take its cut. That's what it's just profit margin. Think of it that way, right? And his show proves that, right? His shows prove that every single time, every single strategy will always work to the house edge, and the casino doesn't care if you play the Horseman, the Molly, the Philly Special, the GM Special, whatever you want to play. It doesn't matter. They're going to take their cut. Whether you win a bunch or lose a bunch, they really don't care, right? Their dog in that fight is the commission on the bets. It's not whether you win or lose or they win or lose. It really isn't, unless you're betting millions per hand, right? Then it's a different story. But that's this way, and I think his show shows that beautifully. Now what I want to see, and I asked him for some of these things, let's take a look at ways that you can take the same strategy and apply different bits of logic to it. And what I mean by that is, or variations of it. What happens if you take the skill 66 and go 66 to 88, and then on that third hit, stop playing, versus 66 to 88 to 44 inside and half press, right? It's the same first three moves. What happens to the player who just does that and stops versus the guy that keeps on playing? Is there a difference in the end, right? You're looking at the first three moves as the analysis. The really what his data will show is what happens to you, good or bad, on that next decision. Like, how does the next decision point change things, right? In the end, will the house edge will get you on both sides. How different is it if you keep playing versus not keep playing? I want to see that, right? What's the win rate of different versions of these things? So he's gonna actually give me the code that he wrote, not all of it, but the code that he writes to get a strategy to work, right? In other words, he's got all this Python code that he wrote that runs the roles and does the data stuff. He has another library that he wrote that says, given us for a strategy, here's kind of the flow chart. Like, if the dice are this, you kind of whatever. I'm going to write a couple of my strategies up and give them back to him and let him run that way. And I'll put some variations in there, right? Like, for example, there's some things you just can't tell. He was wondering, what's the right amount for buy-in? We talked about, the logic of having enough money for 10 shooters. And I used to be a believer in that, and I'm really not anymore. I'm not in the camp, although it's anti what Casino Quest teaches too, of what is, what that 10 shooter, whatever, minimum buy-in. I don't believe in that anymore. I think you bring in, and I think, is it Gargoyle that says this? Who's it that says this? We talk about bring enough money that you are willing to lose. And somebody said, I can't remember who this was. Bring enough money that you need to win. That's Tony said. Tony says that, right? Tony Leo. And the point of that is this. If you're going to play a martingale, you need more money. If you're going to play the Dallas Drawdown, like I do, and you're going to limit yourself, hey, it's going to be one shooter and that's it. It's going to be 2 hits. I'm either going to win or not. Bring enough money that you need to get it done. I don't need 10 times that. I need enough money to play how long I'm going to play. And I think what he was asking was, how do we analyze that? And there's some strategies where you just can't. Like, it's impossible, for example, to do a 3-point molly and say how much money do you need to last for 10 shooters, because you don't know. You don't know how many bets you're going to get through, what the odds are going to be like. You can pretend max it out, but if you've got a shooter that you're putting 3 bets up, you don't know if they're going to get whacked into come back out, get whacked into come back out, and keep on going, right? Or if they all 3 get set and all 3 win, you just don't know what you need, right? So it's not a hard and fast rule. So we're trying to figure out ways to use all of his data to figure out what the right buy-in for some of these things are. And I think we'll use that to match up some of the stuff. Anyway, great guy. We nerded out for like an hour and a half. It was awesome on Friday. Will from Advanced Player Workshop, by the way. If you're not watching his channel, watch his channel. He's another really good guy. A new channel. New channel, not a new dice thrower. He's been throwing dice for a long time, and he just went through his. We talked a long time ago, and I said, hey, look, you got a good message and all that, but you can't be throwing from a chair to a throwing station, right? That's not reality, right? A lot of us start out that way as a way to kind of get going, but really you need a table, and people need to see a table, and they need to hear the clack of the dice and see the whole thing working, right? So he bought a table, or he built a table, and he's been throwing on it. Last video he put out was like, wow, the new table's way different. So check him out. He's a good channel. I'm actually going to reach out to him too, to run Dylan's in the chat here, to run his 5 and 9 challenge. Now, if you don't know about it, we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but Dylan's got a challenge that he put out there. Not really a challenge, but he wants some data to back up his claims, or back up his thought process, which is this. There's a dice set that he's got, which is I'll show it to you. It's the 6-2-6-2 dice set. So there's the 6s. Where's my 2s? There's my 2. Come on, Johnny. 6-2. Come on. 6-2, 6-2. There's the 2s. Okay, so there we go. 6-2, 6. Why can't I find it? 6-2, 6-2. There's the 2s. There's the 6s. This dice set here avoids the 9 and the 5. There are no 9s and 5s when you rotate these dice. And the idea is, if you want to play a don't pass, right, and you're a controlled shooter with a good on-axis throw, you can use that set that, if things go according to plan, won't see any 5s or 9s, which means you can lay the 5 or lay the 9 on the come out. The don't pass will be safe most of the time, and then you can play your hybrid way, right? That's his theory. The don't pass gets jacked on a come out 7. You got to lay something if you want to protect it necessarily, right? or play it naked. But if you want to protect it, you got to lay something. This set, he believes, will hide those two numbers. So he's asked people, not me, because I don't throw that par on axis kind of a throw, right? I throw the chopper, to run, 3 sets of 36, 108 rolls, to see if, in fact, a good DI can hide this. Now, I've a couple of things. Brian from High Crap Shooters ran it. He got to like 73 rolls and got tired, right? 108 is a lot of rolls in a session. So it's going to take a few sessions to do it, which I think is a good thing. I don't think 108 is enough. I honestly believe that you got to do 720. I mean, if you're going to do the thing, do it to the degree that we need to do it. I think the guys that take the challenge on should do 720 rolls. So I want Brian to go back and do another 10 sessions. Gargoyle may do it. I think he's going to do it. I think Ed's going to do it. I think. I'd like Will to go ahead and try it. I'd like Joe to go ahead and try it on a separate thing. Joe can't do it as part of his normal show, but maybe as a separate, if he wants to spend the time on it, do it. I've asked George to do the same thing. So let's get some of the guys out there, but they got to do it for a longer period of time. They got to run it for a long period of time. Like I said, George has to change his dice set to this dice set and run like 6 nights of shows with it, of his channel to get it out there. I think we need more numbers, and what in the end will be interesting. Like what happens when it's all said and done? Does it really hide the 9 and 5 to enough of a degree that you feel like you can lay a number like that? That's really what we got. Like, can it actually get you close enough to where it actually matters, right? So I don't know. We'll find out soon enough, right? As guys do it. Also, I should have put it up here. I didn't have enough room on the screen, and I kind of forgot. George from CY reached out also, and we're going to be announcing very soon the dates and the bracketology that goes along with 2 new tournaments we're going to run here coming up. One will be the 3rd annual shooters tournament. So we're just going to shoot, and that one's been going well. I don't think the rules for that need to change very much. Just basically take a big old bracket of people shooting dice, and like whoever has the longest rolls get to the end, kind of a thing. I advocate in that one for not just longer rolls, but for quality scores, right? Like in other words, if you're rolling 15 and they're all horn numbers, like, yeah, you avoided the 7, but did you make any money? I want to check it to be a kind of a money making roll. Joe says, check my text. Is my microphone broken or something? What's happening here? I'm checking my text. Thanks, it's there. I don't see anything in my text, Joe. You did do it and sent you a text. You just sent me a text, Joe? You did 720 rolls? I must have missed that. I'm sorry, dude. I'll go back and reread it. Let's see, where was I at? The shooters tournament. So yeah, I would like to see some quality scores built into that thing. So it's not just length, but quality. That's what she said. He's also going to announce the 1st annual strategist tournament. So it's going to be strategies in a bracket format too, probably being played in the Crapsy kind of a thing, right? So Crapsy to run it, strategies to come through. That will be interesting as well, and that'll be against live rolls. I don't know how it's going to work yet. Who's going to shoot? What will the rolls be? Will all the strategies go against the same set of rolls? What's the source of the rolls? Don't know how it's going to work, so we'll figure that out. There is a group text going on about how to figure that out. But yeah, 2 tournaments coming up, so that'll be some really good, compelling live TV in the next few months. So that's going to be awesome. I will also have an announcement coming up in a few days about my Casino Quest stuff. We've been talking about this for a long time. I've been talking to David for a while about going to work there. That's finally here, and I'll announce soon what that's going to look like. David kind of announced it on his show the other night on his podcast with Alex. But yeah, I'll be starting to work for them relatively soon and helping them lead a new effort for the business. Casino Quest, as you probably know, is a little bit disjointed in terms of their online presence. They've got the CEG Dealer School channel, the Casino Quest channel. They've got 6 different websites with different designs. And it's hard to kind of know what's where. So part of my job will be to kind of bring all that together and have it be like one thing. You go to here, the hub, everything you need's there. As far as, signing up to be a dealer, signing up to be a player, renting space, buying stuff, all of it will be under one umbrella. So I'll be helping to organize all that and kind of run that through at the same time doing my dealer training at the same time teaching some classes, at the same time doing the seminar. So all that's gonna come out soon. We haven't finalized all the stuff yet, but when we do, I'll let you know. And also, with regards to that, the impact it'll have on this show specifically and this channel in general, right? This channel likely won't go away, but I'm going to funnel most of my content through Casino Quest. I'll be doing these lives probably on their channel, or I should say our channel. I'll be doing this live on the Casino Quest channel every day. You know, my audience is 2,000, their audience is 300,000, right? So it'll be a little different in scope. And that's, you know, part of the reason why I'm kind of, you know, vacillating about how the show's got to work is I'm thinking about a wider audience, right? And making sure that we're interesting for a wider audience. Anyway, more on that to come later in the week. The other big thing really in the news is this, and I have to know, who do you got, right? Put it in chat. Who do you got, Philly or KC? It's a rematch. It's funny, I was telling my wife yesterday, so we had this thing, we had a whole house full of people yesterday watching these games, of course. And the consensus is, generally speaking, nobody wants to see a Kansas City three-peat. And I kept saying yesterday, you know, I was torn on the whole thing. I told you this Friday. I was torn going into the Buffalo KC game. The Philly game, of course, I'm looking for Philly to win, right? If Philly didn't win that game, I'd have been all in on DC, right? Why? They're division rivals. I'm supposed to hate the Commanders, but Dan Quinn's got a big Seattle connection. Bobby Wagner. There's like 11 people on that team and the coaching staff that have Seattle ties, right? So, you know, I'm a 2-3 team person, right? I got Philly where I grew up, I got Seattle where I live, and I'm just they've never really met in a meaningful game. So I've been able to dodge that bullet, and I can be a diehard on both of them. As a boy, I always loved the Raiders. I was always a Philly and a Raiders guy, right? When they met in the Super Bowl, it was soul crushing for me, right? Because I've always loved both teams. Now Pete Carroll's going to the Raiders, and I get my Raiders back, right? So it's just interesting. Anyway, I would have been on the Commanders no matter what happened if they had beat Philly because of all the Seattle ties. The other game, that KC game, I like seeing history, right? I like seeing things you'll never see again, right? I just do. If KC wins the Super Bowl and beats the Eagles, I'll be fucking pissed, right? But at the same time, you'll be able to say, hey, I saw somebody do it 3 times in a row. That'll be kind of cool to say. That said, man, how do you not root for Buffalo in that game? Like, how do you not say Buffalo lost 4 Super Bowls? They've lost 5 championship games. 9 times that city's been on the brink of explosion, and they've gotten their souls crushed. I mean, it's so hard to watch that happen. God, I can't even imagine being a Buffalo fan, right? A real Buffalo fan. It must be torturous, right? But how do you not root for them, right? Now we got the Super Bowl, right? My favorite team in the world against KC. Nobody wants KC to win. Everybody's tired of the Mahomes show. Everybody's tired of the referees favoring the Chiefs, whatever. Everybody's tired of seeing them win it all. It's like it's getting old, right? Everybody hates Philly, like my opening. Everybody hates Philly because they hate. My wife is like, I can't root for you. I'm sorry. She's like, I love Saquon Barkley. I love Jalen Hurts and all that. But your town sucks. I hate your people and your fans are assholes and I can't root for you. I'm like, all right, fine. Whatever. So now we are a house divided over here for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be all in. You know that. My wife says this, Saquon, they have Saquon Barkley and that's it. I'm like, yeah, they have Saquon Barkley. They made the move in the offseason that changed the team, right? Dodgers made moves this offseason that are going to change baseball, frankly, right? If you're going to win it, you got to make a move to win it, right? And that's good. Saquon is going to win this on the ground. Here's what I think. I think Casey's got an okay run defense. It's not as good as the Commanders was, and I think Saquon's going to run pretty tough against them. I also think that you saw a little bit of opening up this past Sunday with AJ. And I think they will have A.J. Brown way more part of this game than he has been. And I think they're starting to kind of come here, right? It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. I think it won't be a blowout for sure. I'm just hoping it's not going to be a come down to a ref decision like it did the last time they played the Super Bowl. Try being a Jets fan. Well, you know what's funny? I hate to say this, James. Beginning of the year, everybody this year was all. Remember the beginning? The Jets were all the hype. They're going to win the whole thing. They finally got it. They got the QB and blah blah blah. And I said this to Zach, my son, because he took a futures bet on the Jets. He put $100 on them to win the division this year. And I said, dude, I don't care who they got at quarterback. I don't care who they got at coach. It's still the Jets. They're just going to find a way to be the Jets every year. And that's just that team. You don't expect them to do anything. Like the Bills, you expect every year they're gonna get there every year. They have a chance. The Jets are just the Jets. I love you, James, but you know how that is, right? What the way that it works. Anyway, Buffalo feels like the Cubs. I don't know. There was years back where the Phillies lost to the Dodgers like 4 years in a row in the NLCS. Never got to the World Series. There was a series of years where Andy Reid, when he was coach of the Eagles, 5 straight NFC Championship games, never won the big one. You know, he finally got it when he was in KC. A lot of people suffer, man. Mariners have never been to the World Series. I'm a Mariners fan. We've never been past round one, but one time, you know. Anyway, we're here to talk about gambling, right? Here's the schedule. The Bridge seminars, as you know, February 22nd, March 22nd. I'll announce the April date when I have it. The Atlantic City group is going to be in AC, mostly at Caesars, I believe, on February 18th to the 23rd. So if you're from the East Coast, you're going to pick to play with Jeff and Chris and Craig and Lou and all the guys. Who else there? Midnight Train, Ted, and all them in AC. Or come to Vegas and hang out with me. Either way. Casino Quest seminars are March 7th to the 9th that weekend. Saturday sold out. There are still, I think, 5 or 6 spots open for Sunday to go to school with 10 Ton and Bo Parker and Ed Robinson. I wish I could be there. I will be on a cruise that weekend. And I leave on the 7th, which is very unfortunate. Big AZ's meetup, though, at the end of March 23rd, and then getting into May, we have the Brownwater Bash. There may be other things that come up, and they do. I will put them up on here. These words will get smaller and smaller and smaller as we add more and more things to it, but that's the schedule so far as we know it. Now, I'm going to get to playing here in a minute. It's Math Monday, so we're going to play a little bit of Mathy Way. And we'll talk about a couple of things here with regards to the math. And I got to remind you, like every day, this is going to be boring, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it. This is, I said it last week, this is the Bridge Seminar in 3 minutes. Okay, the Bridge Seminar is this. Now, you've got to still pay your money to come to the real one because we go deeper. But remember, everything starts with a goal. Whenever you're gambling, you're playing in crapsy, you're doing whatever you're doing, you got to start with some goal, whether it's to have fun, whether it's to last a long time, whether it's to play hard. Either one of those things, right? Make some money. Whatever your goal is, know the goal going in, have the bankroll necessary to attain the goal, okay? Again, if it's a daily paycheck and I'm going to go bigger bets, if I'm going to go out there 640 across for 2 hits and run, I need $640, right? I'm going to give it one. I'm going to warm up with a pass line bet one time, maybe a little bit of horseman. I'm going to come back in and hammer 640. I need that much bankroll. If I'm here to play for 3 hours with y'all, right, and have fun and drink and all that kind of shit, I'm playing pass line only, maybe some ATS, and that's it. I need, $40 per person. I need $400. Maybe 800 to go twice. That's what I'm looking at, right? That's how you set yourself up to get the goal, right? We want to make sure we're managing our risk. Know what our risk levels are, how much risk we can tolerate, how much risk we want, right? You might have an appetite for risk, right? Know that going in and play in a way that's according to that, right? Find the right place, find the right game, the right casino, the right table conditions, the right dealers that are going to make your experience the best that it can be. All of that said, right, your emotions control everything, right? If you get emotional or too flat, you'll have a bad time. Just the way that it is, right? Your emotions can make you make poor decisions, right? Poor strategic decisions. You may not be able to identify opportunity. Opportunity can be a thing you lean into to make more money. Opportunity could be, it's opportunity to get out of here, right? It's time to leave. That's an opportunity to take money off the table and run. Don't forget that, right? Solid mindset and discipline get you through it all, right? That's all important stuff. You need all of that to make things work. So when you're watching my show, other shows, apply this sort of matrix to your life. Trust me, it'll make everything so much better for you, right? Just make sure that you're honest with yourself about all these things. If you're dishonest about this stuff to yourself, you have a delusion somewhere in there, you're going to screw it up. And if you screw it up, you're going to go beyond house edge, right? They're going to get their house edge from you. If you screw this up, you're going to give them more than you need to. Don't give them more than you need to. They're already getting their piece. All right. Now, we're going to throw the dice here in a minute. I'm going to play, by the way, today. We're going to play a little ramped up horseman. I'm going to do the horseman today for my paycheck. So I'm going to try and ramp it up a little bit. And what that means is we're going to, I'm going to do the little parlay on the line. I'm going to do some extra betting. I'm going to turn come bets to place bets. We're going to go hard. We're going to just kind of let it I'm just going to pedal to the metal today. We're going to do a little bit of horseman, but not the boring version. I'm going to try and just ramp it through and see what happens, right? This will be a what if kind of a day. But we're going to run it chopper style. Not appetite, not eighth. That's funny, Dan. We're going to run it chopper style. Now, I'm going to start doing this because Ed and I were talking over the weekend some. I'm going to start getting my dice practice in the mornings too. I'll do 2 sessions a day. I want to get my roll counts up on the chopper practice thing. So again, I'm going to be setting the hard ways, right? So the 4s, the hard way looks like this, right? With your 6s on the outsides of the dice, right? Like this. There's your hard way set. I'm just going to stack it, right? I do my hard way stacked. That's my chopper. That's my chopper throw, right? And as you know, I'm going to throw this thing a couple of ways. Or one way today, but there's really a couple ways to throw this thing. Gargo is going to do a show very soon with Jeff to talk about this throw in particular, because there's some misinformation out there about the throw. And again, I say this all the time: words matter. Words do matter, right? The name of the throw is an important piece of it. The chopper is thrown a little higher, and it's a little bit more like a drop shot. And again, G will explain all this to you, right? But when these things fly, again, I spin them in the air, right? The way I throw it now, by the way, when they spin, you can't see it on camera, but they spin like this, maybe twice around. It's really slow. It's a really slow flight. They just barely kind of rotate over, and it's more of a high and it's a softer landing, right? We're trying to, like a helicopter, kind of runs and lands like this. That's what we're doing. We're kind of ramping up and landing soft. That's the style. This is the helicopter toss. It's not the chopper, right? What Cage and other people call the chopper is more of a lower, higher rate of spin. They spin way faster and they're lower and they skip off the deck. I've talked about all the time how I'm trying to skip them off the deck into the back wall. From stick left 1, right-handed, backwards, it's a flick. And they do spin pretty fast, and they skip a little bit, right? That action's different. Into the wall, the action is different. And what I mean by that, let me go to this view here at the table. The action is more like this, right? It's kind of hard to show you. Let me get the other view. Hold on, let me switch views. A better way that you can see it. And I'll explain it before I shoot. And oh, by the way, there's my shirt, my Eagles shirt. I'm sure you're loving seeing that, right? Anyway. The idea is this, right? They're going to spin clockwise coming into this wall, right? And what you want is from the hit and kind of keep on going a little bit with that same spin and hit the wall on the inside of a diamond. If it hits the outside diamond, you're going to be screwed. Inside of a diamond, they'll keep going. And off the wall, and they'll land, and they'll kind of, separate out. That's the plan for the shot, right? When I do the drop shot version of it, it's so light, they land, and it's just a skip and touch, right? We're not trying to have high action. When I throw the flea flicker and they're spinning faster, I want the off the wall action to bounce them off. I want them to keep on going. I don't try and slam it, but I'm trying to use the back wall. And again, from the left side, the dice are coming in this direction on an angle, so that natural clockwise spin is natural. From the left or from the right side, they're coming in this way, this angle, and spinning in that direction. So I need that inside hit to keep the dice going in the same motion. So that's what makes this thing so damn hard, right? It's a tough shot to pull off for lots of reasons, and that's the primary one, is the direction that they're going into the wall. From the stick left, flea flicker style, here, this just kind of makes it natural. The spin and the direction feed that energy. From this side here, they're coming this way, and they're spinning that way, right? But because they're in the wall going that wrong direction, the diamonds will actually make them worse on this side. So that's why it's more of a drop and die versus a hit and spin. So just so you know, that's sort of why or how that thing kind of comes to play. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to get shooting here. Of course, I'm going to use today my green dice because it's Philly day, of course, right? We'll use the greens. There's a 516. That's our lucky number to get started. We're going to take $5,000, which may not be enough. We're going to play a little horseman. I'm going to get my $500 out here, and we're going to take 5 blacks, like so. We're going to do a $200 pass line, or don't pass. 3 $100 come bets. Let me get my iPad out here. Hold on. I need the iPad so I can log the results. I will not do Crapsy this morning, for reasons that aren't your fault. But I didn't set it up last night like I normally do, so I didn't get it set up. So here we go. We're gonna go to only 6% battery left. What? Other computer, and then I'll throw. Let's go here. Luckily, I've got multiples that I can muscle through with here. I got my Eagles shirt out there. I have a target to go over the shirt with, which is awesome. All right, let's do this here. This is going to be not daily paycheck, but we're going to do the DI practice. There it is. DI practice. All right. Hopefully these will work and you can see them coming through on the screen. And I also changed where the dice go. So when I shoot, they'll be up in here for you to see. So you can see those. And let's get after it. Here we go. We're going to come on out. I'm going to set the ones every day now. I'm not going to change my dice set ever in the morning. I'm just going to set the ones, say a little Hail Mary, and let's hope we get through it. Let's see. I got to make sure that I can see. Come on. Where's my freaking mouse? There we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Coming out. Coming out. Choppa style. That's going to be, of course, one of these. One of those. Oh, I rolled it over. It was a 6-5. 6-5 yo. Coming out of the gate, 6-5. Yummy. Lose that don't pass right out of the chute. So we're going to have to go and play from behind, which is awesome. Let's see how well the perpetual horseman survives today. Can it survive old Johnny? Let's see. Can we survive Johnny? That puck should be off. 1-1. And again, for the chopper, I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool seeing a bunch of 6s or a bunch of 1s. Like, that's kind of what I want, right? Here we go. That looks like a 10, a 6, and a 4. All right, puck is going to be on the 10. 6, 4, 10. We got our first come bet in. There's the dice. Boy, I keep rolling them coming up in here. There's 6. Wow, Johnny. 6, 4. I got to dodge a couple things to get them up there, but there's your 6, 4. All right. And let's get the 1s up top. Okay, here we go. Let's get that second come bet up there. Nice separation. Perfect. 4, 3, 7. Okay, I know you don't want to see 7s, but let's move that over to here where it goes. 4, 3. It works for me. We lost on that come out 11, right? So that gets it back, and there's that. So if I take all this back up home, I've got $600 in my rack now. Okay, what that means to me is this: the don't pass can be 300 in size, or I can bigger size the come bets. I'm going to bigger size the come bets. Instead of pumping this thing up so high, I'm going to take this black as 4 greens, and we'll do this. We'll make this look like 225, and each come bet will be 125. So we're going to take the profits, and we're going to load up the bets a little bit as we go here. We're going to take a little bit of advantage of opportunity if it presents itself, and try and get them a little higher. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'd like to have some longer runs than that, but whatever. That looks like a 5, a 4 and a 1. That was a nice throw. 4, 1, 5. There they are. We'll do 125 as our first come bet. Again, leveraging up the wins a little bit here. If I catch a what do you call it? Put that in 4, 1. If I catch an 11 yo in the come, I'm going to press that. I'm going to hammer it instead of just collecting it. like I normally do with the horseman. If I catch a yo in the come, we're going to do a full press. If I catch a come bet that wins after it's been set, it's going to go back right back out there again at a bigger level. We're going to try and level them up with wins. So we'll do a little bit of pressing in here if we can catch a decent little run. Here we go. Look at that beautiful separation there, Johnny. That goes to the 4, 3-1. That was a nice throw. Nice throw. Move that up to the 4. Again, we'll do 125 with our next come bet. All right, 3-1. Here we go. Nice. Ooh, we lost it. We lost it. Aces. Again, good for the chopper. What I want to see, but I don't like seeing that so much. That sucks. Third come bet's out. There's the aces. You can see them in the zoom in area. That zoom in area, by the way, is the exact same spot on the table where the stick person of a regular craps game has to put the dice. So I'm practicing stick work too as we do this thing. Navigating all the landmines, get them in the right spot. So, all right, why is the roll tracker broke? Broke as broke. Hold on a second. What happened to the last shooter? Shooter 34. Hold on. 415, 314, 11. There we go. Should be 288 throws. Okay, good. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there, but here we go. Looking for that second or third come bet to go someplace good. How about a 7? Okay, that's fine. 527. 527. Okay. We'll lose the 4. The 4, though, pays the come, essentially, and we get paid 2.25 down here. Now what happens, we lost that 1 come bet, right? So this really ends up being a kind of a tie. Again, all our money's out here. There's the 500 we started with, right? We're now up $200. So we'll go 250 to the don't. And again, I'll take 100 as quarters. There'll be 125 again a piece. Actually, they'll go 150 a piece. That's how we're going to do it. So we're going to get ramped up everywhere. We'll take all the profits and ramp them up. Again, until we catch the $500, we're going to keep on ramping the bets up. So that's how it's going to play out. We're going to keep on doing it until we get the goal. Not quite there yet. This is that leverage play, but leverage play from a math-based strategy. As long as I can beat the come out, right, and skill, right, if I can just beat this 9, we're going to be okay, right? Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, no, I spilled them. I spilled the dice over. Here we go. Let's get it. It looks like another one. Are you freaking kidding me? 5-2. That's a bummer. 5-2-7. Boy, the come outs are killing me today. 5-2. Come outs are killing me. All right, so I got to go. Here's what's going to happen. I have my 3 come bets that are set up over here, but the leverage play says I've got 450 now. I'm down $50 instead of being up a couple hundred. What do? Do we reset the whole thing at 500, right, and start the whole process over? I think that's what we have to do. I'm light $50. I'm going to take 500 out and get 400 plus greens and start the process over again. Kind of sucks to do that, but it is what it is. Here we go. There's 500. I need 3 greens. All right. Damn. That's a comeback today that got burned in the come, and that's 2 don't pass bets that got burned. That's a bummer. When you're playing when you're playing the math way, right? Those are the things that get you. Everything else is a good bet. Those are the things that crush you, you know? Come on, let's get out of here. Let's get on out of here and have a good session, huh? 5. 3 and a 2. Let's come through here and there. 3-2. Alrighty, here we go. A regular size bets We'll have to restart it because we lost money. Again, we're going to work from that profit play stack the whole time. Whatever's in there is going to dictate what's happening. The other blacks on the other side of my rack there are the change from the last buy-in. So I'm going to try and replenish that as quickly as I can. Here we go. Ooh, big, oh, another one. God, Johnny. Another one. Aces. Jeez. Jeez. Huge bummer. Huge bummer. There they are. There's the aces. Wow. It's good. The throw, like I said, the throw's doing what the throw should do, but, you know, maybe I shouldn't be playing come bets when I'm throwing so many horn numbers, right? Come on now. 7 out. But it's like the same pattern, right? Set a point, throw aces, 7 out. 6-1. All right, let's go and check the rack. Boy, this has been 3 really shitty shooters. We will win, though. 2-1, which is great. There's 500. I'm going to get the racks right. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 500. So we have 150 in profit as it stands. Okay, I'll put this $500 back as a purple. So we're going to go again. I'll take this as greens. We need to get the good run, right? We'll go 250 on the don't. I'll take 1, 2, 3 come bets at 125. We'll do the first one a little bit bigger, and that's how we'll do it. Okay. Or I can just do this. We might just say $200 that. Let's do that. Let's do 200 here and 150 on the come bets. We'll give them some more juice. If they happen to win, then we'll get more right side play. Here we go. Pucks off. There's your 617, and here we go. Having a rough morning so far. We gotta catch our groove here. We haven't caught a groove yet today. In my practice sessions with this exact set and toss, I've had 2 or 3 in the 30s. I just can't seem to catch this morning. So here we go. Nice, easy come out, Johnny. It's another one. God, I've had 3 times. 3 out of 4 shooters I've done this to myself. Look at that shit, 4-3. Golly. Unreal, man. I'm telling you what. Talk about bad luck. That's the bad luck. I'm gonna break a purple and get back to it. Golly, $200. Horrible, man. Horrible. Too many 7s today. Way too many 7s today. The morning 7 curse. Come on now. That's better. Yeah, that's a 10. 6 and a 4. All right. Here we go. There are the numbers. 6, 4. Let's see. I can't see the chats for some reason. I got a window in the way of the chat window here. So hold on. There we go. Okay. Let's do it. Must be the green dice. It's got to be the green dice are my bad luck, right? Here we go. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We will fight back. We'll get the little leverage play going. We will fight back. Oh boy, big kiss. Hard 6. Hard 6. 3-3. We haven't seen more than 1 comeback get set. That's how bad my shooting's been today. We haven't seen 1 comeback even get set, or more than 1 get set. There's your hard 6. 3-3. I trust me. I do. I trust me. Good morning. Here we go. Let's catch it. That was a nice throw. It's a 6. Look at that. 4-2. That was a great throw. 4-2. They put the brakes on that thing, right? So this is going to come down. That's going to go up. That gets paid 150. Now we're going to leverage it up. We're going to press this bet by some of the win and go back out a little bigger. So instead of using our own money for the third come bet, we'll use winnings for that third come bet. There's the 4-2. After the third bet is set, if another comeback comes and wins, we're going to go across and start playing. Big if, right? Big if. with today's throws are going. Here we go. 9, 6, 3. Cool. That's it. We had one come bet get paid. The other two come bets are set and waiting. We have a no 10. Let the roll come to us now. Catch me a 9, catch me a 6. We'll take the wins and we'll go across. And that'll be it. We might even take the wins and back up the other bets. I haven't decided yet. Let's see how we feel. We may take the win if we catch one and back the other two bets up. All right, dice are out. That's going to be a 6, a 5, and a 1, baby. Look at that. 5-1. Love it. It's going to win $150 as it comes down, which is a beautiful thing. Now, let's take this. We'll put $100 on the 9, and I'll lay the other part of it on the don't. I'll put it over here. I'm not going to bring any of it back. In my rack, by the way, if I just quickly make that a purple, I have $50 in the rack. I got everything else on the table. So we're still in our first, that first $500 is what's out here right now. We just need these both bets to win, right? If both bets win, we're going to be in great shape. If not, we'll see where we end up. But I think we're going to be a little bit ahead coming out of the shooter, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Give me a 9. Give me a 9. Give me a 9. I should be going across here, but I wanted to take the money and put it on what I've already got out there this time, instead of taking that $200 and going with the other numbers. But let's just play pure math today. Pure come and don't come today. How about a 9, Johnny? How about a nice 5-4-9? What do you think? Can you get a 5-4 for me? Ooh, I'll take a 6-3. How about that? How about a 6-3-9? Looky here. There it is. There it is. 6-3. Little repeater action for me. I love it. So we're gonna pay 200 flat, and for 100, 150 on those odds, right? That's a beautiful thing, because that brings back here. Check it out, guys. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $100. There's a purple. Check change dealer. There's starting bankroll. There's $200 in profit. There's whatever I've got done here in the 10. Yeah, we're looking good at this point. We've already got a lock profit of we're locking up with $200. I've got a good bet against the 10 out here. What I will do is take $25. I'll put it on the hard 10. I'm going to put it here on the hard 10. My jersey's covering the actual hard 10, but that's for good luck. So this is a hard 10, an all-day hard 10 bet for $25. I'll pay 7 to 1. That'll pay 175. Won't cover all this, but it'll catch some of it. If the 5-5 is how this thing resolves itself, we can take the other $75 that we've got here and put it back out there if we want to. Okay, I could do 3 little come bets, or I could pick 3 numbers. I'm going to do 3 little come bets, 3 little $25 come bets to keep ourselves in the action. I'm not going to go degen all across and play everything hot. We're going to do it like this. We'll stay with the math kind of play, and see what happens. If at the end of the shooter we've got $500 in profit, we'll stop. If we don't, we'll leverage everything up and keep ourselves at it. Here we go. Here we go. And again, I think in a real casino, I'd probably be making place bets, not the secondary come bets series. But again, it's a Math Monday, so we're going to stick to the math. The math guy's way of playing. And there is a hard 10. Look at that. Look at that. Just as I called it out, freaking hard 10, right? So what'll happen is this. All the things are going to happen. The puck goes off. The 5-5s come over here, so you can see them. Hard 10 will pay. Come bet goes up. That pays 7 to 1, so it pays 175. Okay, there's 7 greens, and we lose $400 on that 10, which really bites. But at the end of all that, we have, look at this. Here's our profit. 1, 2, $350 in profit. So we did good. We actually kind of made a paycheck, right? Not too bad. I could have bought the 10 for $200 to kind of stick in there for sure, right? To lock in a profit. The better way to do this is a little bit lower than that. Buy the 10 for like 100.5. That way you win 50 or you win 150. Either way, but we're okay. We're okay. We got some profit here. I can do $100 don't pass and 50, 50, 50 on the next 3 come bets and lock in $100. We're gonna do that. We're gonna leave the 10 up there. We'll do a horseman that's half the size of our first horseman, but we're working only on leveraged profits. That's it. 5, 5, 10. Here we go. Let's catch a new point. Let's not have a you-know-what here. Let's try and keep this roll going. Not burn that black. I've been burning that black on the don't every single shooter, it seems like. Here we go. That is an 8. Not the greatest number for that don't pass, but so what? 5, 3. And again, our first come bet's on the way. 5, 3. Potentially, we'll have potentially 4 bets out there. Potentially. All right, here we go. Let's go green dice. Let's go dice coach green dice. That is an 8. Of course it is. Lose the don't. Move it up. Lose the don't. But that's all right. We're going to leave it as it is. 6, 2. These, I'm going to go the pass line here. So it'll be our second of 3 come bets. Goes to pass. We don't restart the don't after it gets picked like that. Let's play it out here. Let's see here. So we're coming out, right? Yeah, we're coming out. Little buckshot there. Here we go. New point. Ooh, not great, but here's what's going to happen. It's a 4, 3, 7. So these 2 will lose. The pass line will win. We're going to parlay up the pass line. I'm going to stay here with a pass line parlay. We'll stay math, but we're not going to go horse. We're going to take that pass line win, and we're going to jack that son of a gun up. And I'll still play another C bet. 4, 3 on the come out. Come on, Johnny. Oh my God, of course. Boy, am I unlucky. I'm like the Alex Kim of craps. I'm so unlucky. Look at this. We've lost 2 come bets to aces. Now I've lost a pass line to aces, and I've lost 3 come out 7s on the don't. Every possible bad come out sequence, we've had it today. That sucks, man. That really sucks. Golly. So what do we have here? We have $150 in profit. Okay. I'm going to restart. I'm just going to get restart. We haven't made our $500 yet. We're going to restart. $500 comes out. We'll restart the whole thing. There's your 5 blacks. Now, because I've got extra profit, right? We got 150 in profit. So we'll do 200 to the don't. And again, new horseman run here. And we'll do 250. I'll do 2 1/4 actually. And we'll do, no, I won't. I'll do 150, 150. We'll do it like that. We'll leverage them up, the come bets, not the don't pass. We'll do 200 and 3 150s. Restart. A little bit of leverage because we did win some money on the last shooter. Boy, yeah, doesn't it suck to have a 11 roller and like make no money on it? Isn't that math? I'll tell you, the math ways of playing are brutal. Horseman's great to tie. Look at it. We're tying, right? We're here. We're 5 shooters in, right? We've had the PSOs. We've had this guy here. At the end of the day, we're tying, right? I tell you all the time, this is the cruise ship way, right? You're playing on a cruise ship. All your bets are black. You're never really at any risk for going completely upside down. We're just kind of treading water here. This is a free cruise. This is the way, right? These bets are all, there's no contra bets here. They're not going to mark you down. Black chip horseman is a great way on a cruise to win another one quickly. This will be one night of play. You got all your points, and you got your free drinks the rest of the way. It's a good way to do it. You're not going to make a ton of money. You might paycheck it here a little bit, but come on, let's get this don't pass bet out and play for reals, huh? What do we got here? 9, 5, 4. Back on the 9. Let's bring that up so you can see it. 5, 4, new point. Our first one's coming out. we hit a home run in here somewhere where we get all the bets to pay at the right time, we'll be in good shape. Just got to catch the right run. All right, here we go. That is a 6. We got it out. We got it out. It's a 1 and a 5. Move it up here. All right, let's get 2 combat set. Let's get all 3 set, have all 3 pay. Wouldn't that be awesome? Fantastic. Here we go. I might even level them up. Oh, look at that. Here, check this out. What if we did this? What if we say, hey, this comes down, this goes up. Let's put the 6 in the middle. That gets paid $150. Yeah. Next combat, $200. We can lock this up. Just stack the win on the next bet. We'll just let that happen. We'll let that happen. We'll let that happen. That was a... All right. Here we go. Not a great shot, but, look at that, 4-2. 4-2, how about us? That's up, it pays 1 1/4, or 150 rather. We'll do the same thing. Bring back another black chip. Actually, if we bring this back, no, we'll let it run. We're gonna let it run. $200 again on the come. We'll let it run out there. This will be our last of the come bets though. That was a 2-4. That's 4 6s in a row. If you're keeping track at home, I don't think I double entered that one. Did I double enter it? No, I didn't. Because yeah, we got paid. Okay, here we go. Whoo! Come on, baby. The don't and come out gauntlet is big. That's where the tax is, Tom. You're exact. The tax is on the come out, so you got to get these bets out. Here we go. Come on now. That is the 6-5 yo. Here we go, guys. I told you today's gonna be an aggressive horseman today, right? 6-5 yo. Ask JR what to do. JR, what do I do here? You're the guy, right? You know what's gonna happen. You all know what's gonna happen, right? Boom, bam. Let's go. Leverage it up, baby. Let's leverage that guy. Now I take a 7. I'll take a 7 right now and get the hell out of Dodge. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this guy. No aces here. No aces in the come. Come on now. How about a 6? Let's just go to the 6 with it. Ah, it's a 6. It's a 4-2. Boom. Look at that. That is a lot of 6s for this shooter. Just saying. That comes down. That goes up. That pays 200. And back to the rack we go. That was our third. Believe it or not, that was only our third comeback. That was all that repeating stuff. That money's been spent and out there. We're good. We're good. We're going to let these 2 bets here resolve themselves. Right? Let them resolve themselves. We'll see what happens. I think I'm pretty happy with my rack. I think my rack has got profit in it. There's $500, by the way. Purple chip. That is starting bankroll back in the rack. That's $250 in lock, plus all we got out there. So let's let those bets pay. Let those bets pay. We're going to be probably okay. Here we go. I'd love to see one more 6. One more 6 for this guy. One more 6, huh? An 8. It's okay. Now I'm just logging throws until we get out of here. It's a 5, 3, 8. 5, 3. And by the way, let me ask you a question. How did these dice look? Can you see them okay? When I move them in here, are they big enough and clear enough that you can see them? Somebody asked me to put the dice in the black area, and I thought that was a good idea, practice-wise and filming-wise, but I feel like the light might be not the greatest. So here we go. 11 yo, 6-5. 6-5 again. Give me a 6. Oh, it's an 8. Where's my 6? My 6. I rolled it over. It was a 5-3. I need a 6. The big fat comeback on that 6. That was that leveled up bet we got from the yo. That's the one we want. That's the home run hit. That home run hit is right there. That's the one. Come on. Let's go. Let's get it done. Not a great throw. It's a 6, though. Ooh, look at that. 5-1. That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's 400. There it is. Now, in my rack, let's go check where we are. Okay, there is our. We already have our starting bankroll back in, right? Here is the $500 paycheck we were hoping for, right? Here's actually another $500. That's $1,000 in paycheck, right? 5 and 5. That's $1,000. That's a awesome paycheck. I'm not going to dip into that. I do have $50 left in excess profit, right? That we can put wherever we want to. Let's just do 2 little dinky come bets. If I catch a 7 or an 11 in here, we'll make a little extra dough. If I catch an 11, we'll press it up just to have something to do. Just to have something to do. That's actually probably deal. I would probably say, actually, if I'm in a casino, I would probably say dealer's bet, right? Dealer come bet right here. This is just tips, basically. Let them do their thing. We'll take it for ourselves today, but that might be a way to do this, you know, and be a George in some respects. That was a terrible throw. And it's aces. Of course it's aces, right? 1 and a 1. We'll lose that one. Sorry, dealers, you lost money on my bet for you. Aces again. Look at this ATS. I'm on roll 23 right now, right? 23, I've gotten no 3s, 4s, 5s, 10s, or 12s. Not insane. After that come out 7 when we reset everything. How funny. All right, here we go. Come on, Johnny. Let's get her set. It goes to the 5. 3 to 2. Whoop, that rolled all over the place on me. 3-2. 3-2-5. Feast or famine today, right? 2 PSOs. Or 2 one-hit wonders, I guess I had earlier. And now we have this nice roll here. Let's go. Let's get a repeater 5. Give me a repeater 5. That's a 3. Finally, something different, right? 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking at the ATS getting that 4. Looking for a 4. That is a hard 10. 5-5. Which means it's just a 4 in the midnight now. 4 and a midnight away from magical. Y'all were laughing at me earlier. Now who's laughing? Let's go. 4 or midnight. Let's just see. Let's just see if we can do it. It is a 3. Boring. Come on. There they are. I'll come back to your question as soon as I'm done with the roll, Nemo. We'll talk about that for sure. Look at all the horn numbers in there, all the pink, all that pretty pink. 11, 2, 3, 3, right? Those are chopper gravy right there. When I'm throwing the chopper, I want that. I want that. I want to see a bunch of 6, 2, 8s right? I want to see a bunch of 6-3-9s, a 6-4-10. If I'm seeing those kind of things coming out, I know the throw is doing all right. That's how we know we're in good shape with the toss. Here we go. Normally on the show, though, I set different dice sets, right? This is the first time I'm really doing this show with my practice set, so you can really see the difference. Here we go. That looks like a 1-4. See what I mean? Like 1s and 6s all day long. That's all I really care about. 4-1-5. That'll come down. That'll be paid a quarter. We'll just press it up and put it right back in there. We'll do a little parlay, a little comeback parlay, huh? What do you think? And that is the 9. That's going to kill the don't, which kind of blows, but whatever. $200 down. Puck is going to be off. 6-3. We'll let that bet resolve. When that bet resolves, that'll be the end of the roll. There's the 9. Whatever happens to that bet, I'll stop throwing and we'll get back to talking. So either I'm either going to throw a 9 or I'm going to 7 on it, and then we'll call it good. There's a 10, 6-4. 6-4-10. All right, it's 4-6 actually. Going by the bottom die. That's right, parlay the come bet 11. That's exactly what happened. I parlayed a come bet 11 and made that 6 a 4-unit bet, and we won it, right? That covered up earlier losses in a big way. There's a 4-3-1. Is that the whole thing? Is that the whole thing? That's the small. 3-1-4. That's the small. Somebody blow the train whistle, because that was a good one. What happened there? We lost a roll. 3-1. How about that? There we go. That'll light it up. Look at that. Johnny got a small. Johnny got a small after all the PSOs. How about we flip these dice over and get a midnight? We've had all those twos, but no midnights yet. Come on. Let's see the midnight. Let's see a midnight here, huh? There's a 9, 3-6-9. Beautiful. That thing comes down. We'll get paid. You know what we're going to do? We're going to parlay that son of a gun. It started as a quarter, which we won and parlayed. Now we hit the parlay. Let's get a 3-leg parlay. Let's do it. We're still playing. Let's get a 3-leg parlay on that guy, huh? 3 and a 6. Can we do it? Can we do it and turn that $50 or that $25 into something special? Come on now. How about an 11 right here? Smack an 11. Come on. It's a 7. That's okay. It actually, it's fine. It ends the roll, so I can go back to talking to y'all. 4-3-7. And it pays, which is awesome, right? 3-leg parlay. That's $200 in gravy money, right? The doers, that's a great tip, right? We turned that $50 into 200 for them. It's awesome. As it is for us, we'll count it as profit for me. And that's really cool. Let's bring this back. Let's come on back over here and give me a second to kind of get things reset. We'll talk a little bit because a question came in about the chopper that I want to talk through. Let's go here and here. Turn the light off. So Nemo asked a question, and he says, what does he say here? He says, if I understand correctly, for the chopper, the talk should only look for top numbers. If I change the set to get what I want, then why not change them and get the 7? I get you, right? And I think that's where, this is where when I talk to Ed Robinson in probably a week or so, we'll talk. I'll have him on this show, and we'll spend the whole hour going through bone tracker stats and really looking at what happens. But here's the deal. Here's the way that I want this throw to work, right? This is what my goal is, right? And again, I'll show them to you this way, right? So if they're spinning in the air like so, right? And of course they're spinning this way, right? But they spin in the air. The perfect throw, right? They separate while they're spinning. Or they're going to go the same way. They separate like this in the air, right? So they don't kiss and have a disaster, right? The perfect throw is Aces. The perfect throw is both dice just hit the deck, keep on spinning in the same configuration, stay on axis, and stay up. Aces is a perfect throw for me, right? That would be control or influence, right? Anytime I see a 1 and the dice didn't tumble like madly and stays up as a 1, that's a perfect throw, right? I'm not slow-mowing right now. I will start slow-mowing some more throws. You can see some of that action. One of the dice usually does something like that, where it doesn't really go crazy. Influence, that's more control, right? I'm controlling my everything, the release, the height, the landing point, all the stuff, and they spin and they just kind of stay up. That's a perfect throw for one of the die. Influence is, well, they trickle to the back wall in such a way that when they hit the back wall, they only rolled over a couple of times and it's a 6. Like it's more energy control, right? Like hopefully I influence them enough that if they don't stay up like they should, they just roll over here and it's a 6. So I'm looking at 1s and 6s. I'm looking at, when I throw that set, I'm looking at all horn numbers, right? Now, if I'm on a come out, right, I might set the dice, like you're saying, to something that's going to produce more 7s, okay? Maybe that means it's a 2 on top, right? And who cares on the bottom? So I catch a 2 and maybe I catch a 5, right? Or whatever else. Frankly, when they're both up like this, where's my 1? I lost my 1. When they're both up here, right? If one works and one doesn't, it's a 7. And there's only 4 things that can happen, right? If I'm in the hard way set, right? I can get aces, I can get midnight, I can get a 6-1-7, or I can get a 1-6-7. That's it. It's a 50-50 shot to catch a 7 on that dice. That's why do you think I'm getting so many come out 7s? It's a 50-50 shot if the dice are doing what they're supposed to do. I should see a ton of 7s. I'm not surprised by all the 7s. When I get a long roll like I just had, that happens because one die didn't work. One die stayed up and one die didn't. And now I've got no chance for a 7. And that's what happens. When the long roll happens is when one die works and one die wasn't, and one die doesn't. That's the point of that. Okay, so we have the come bet's getting slaughtered every horn, right? And a short PSO does not make a win. Yeah, so the horseman's designed for the shorty, right? It's designed to get you out on a don't pass and have a quick 7. That's what it's for. It's a great warm-up strategy. When you're, like today's a good example, right? Trying to figure out my throw and do my thing and like whatever, right? I warm up. Okay, it's a one-hit wonder. Okay, it's a one-hit wonder. Okay, it's a PSO, whatever. We didn't get hurt. The worst we were down the whole time was $50. All that crappy throws I had, the worst we were was down $50. And that was because I parlayed stuff, right? I could have been up at that same point. When we finally caught the hand, you would have made, or other people would have made way more money than I made on that 20-something roller hand we just had. When you're playing math ways, you're not making any home runs. You're just going to kind of collect as you go. Other folks would have made more, but that's the point of it. That thing hunts down the crap rolls while you're figuring stuff out. And then if I figure it out, then I can either stay where I'm at or make a switch. Anyway, there's that. What else do we have in here? Let's see. Joe Schmo, the higher I throw the dice, the harder they'll land. But the rotation of these dice, the way that these dice spin this way, even though they're higher, they put the brakes on. That horizontal, or that horizontal spin is like pumping the brakes. The way they land. So when they come down high, closer to the back wall with that spin, the brakes get put on. You can see some of those shots. They die without even touching the wall, even though they're coming in really high. They're coming in at about rail height, and they're still dying before they get to the wall. It's because that spin, the physics of that spin makes that happen, and that's why I think it's interesting to watch, for sure. And Gargoyle will be explaining the physics of the toss next month, but I've been throwing this thing now for a couple of years, and I've seen enough slow motion of this toss to know how it happens, right? The higher thing is worse when the dice are spinning backwards. When I'm spinning with the direction, again, my dice spin in the direction of the throw. They're spinning with the throw, or with the motion, not against the motion. I think when you spin against the motion, that's when you have issues. And so, a whole different kind of toss. Anyway, let's see. What else here? Who else is talking in chat? Secret to DI is put a minimum amount of energy. Yeah, but again, this is not true, right? I've done that test, and so is Mark at the point. just dropping them down doesn't do anything, right? Because you need rotation. You need some kind of force to put the brakes on the dice. And the idea behind the old par toss, right, the backward spin, was to put brakes on the dice. The problem with that spin is it puts the brakes on the dice, but it separates them. This throw, spinning the other way, puts the brakes on, so you don't have that wall energy, as much of it anyway, but you keep the spin going, which I think you need to bring them to rest. Anyway, that's all that. What else is coming on here? He says I'm throwing the dice wrong to keep them down. Now, again, wrong throw. This is a whole different throw. I've explained it already. We're doing a whole different throw here. The other throw from the other side, if I do the same throw from the left side, right, from stick left one, you're right, it's a lower throw. From the right side, it's a higher throw, and that's all because of the direction that the dice fly with the rotation. I'm flying into the wall, but opposite the rotation. From that side, it's with the rotation, so physics says go lower and let them skip. There's a different mindset on both of them. So yeah, trust me, I've been analyzing the crap out of this thing for so long. I've got that part of it, I think, well understood. Now it's about execution. Yeah, the flea flicker is lower for different. Yeah, okay, there we go. I have enough time for PCs and Qs. I'm going to go right now, Skill. Let's go to the PCs and questions. I know you must have something in there for me to address. So let's go see what we have here. Ramped up horseman, by the way, let's review this. The ramped up horseman worked today. We leveraged some of the bets, right? We got killed on the comeouts, yeah, but we leveraged our wins, got the bigger wins when we needed to, and that let us get some bigger bets out there. Without that leverage today, we wouldn't have got the paycheck. We would have had a $500 paycheck instead of a $1,200 paycheck for sure. And I think we probably would have been a little deeper in. We never got past our second $500. We were only in this thing for $600 at one point, right? Not bad. With two black chips in the don't, we never got past $600 into the rack. That's actually pretty cool, as it turns out. So again, I love that for a cruise ship. Let's go. Before I do the Q&As, let's look here real quick. I want to get to, oh boy, that's ugly. I do want to show you the stats though, because the stats are interesting. Let me refresh this. Let me get a refresh going here. No, not that. What the hell? Not that. Sorry. I'm trying to refresh my browser so you can see the browser. Hold on. I went to the wrong screen. There's that screen. All right. Let me refresh this. Why is it doing that? What the hell? Why is it doing that? I want to be here. Can you see this? What is going on? There we go. There was some video playing. I don't know why it was playing in the background. Anyway, let's go here. I'm going to refresh the browser so you can see it. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry, jeez. Like I'm a rookie at this thing. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. All right, well, let's make this a little bigger for you too. Because again, the stats are always very interesting, especially today with the amount of horn bets we had. Let's zoom in. Let me zoom in. Okay, so today we're up to roll 325. SOR is over 7. SOR is over 8.5, which is good. BSR, everything is over where it should be. BSR should be 4. SOR should be 8.5. SOR should be 6. Everything is a little bit better than it ought to be, which is cool. The big thing I like to look at here is this. Number one, I'm making and missing almost the exact number of points. We're still early. The pyramid's not going to be, it'll start looking more pyramid-like the longer we go. But look at the outliers. Look at the 2, the 3, the 11, and the 12. All the horn numbers are outliers because of the 1s and 6s being so predominant with the way I throw this toss. Those are way outliers, right? The 6 is a big outlier. Matter of fact, on the last shooter today, if I could change backwards to shooter 37, look at that. We had a repeater on the 6, a repeater on the 9, and a repeater on the 10 after that 7. After that come out 7, right? We repeated all those in the 2. We repeated the aces too. Look at that, right? That's a pretty good pocket right there. Even though we had all the ugliness early, if you had your $5 on the repeater bets today at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, one of the last tables in a plant that has a repeater bet, this is a big money roll right here, right? That's pretty good. But again, I'm more looking at the number of 11s we had today and the 2s and the 3s. 4 2s and 3s and 2 11s. That's 6 numbers out of the 33 we had. That's more than we should have had on the horn. And there was no 12s. It's way over what you should see. And I'm happy about that. That's the kind of stuff I look at. I don't really care about the roll count. I care about this weird facial distribution. I'm trying to get this facial control thing, which is here, to start getting a little bit more out of bounds. I want to see the bottom or top out of bounds, either one way or the other. That way you know where you stand. Anyway, that's all she wrote about that. Now let's get back over here to let's go Q&A. Let's go see if there's any good questions. I'm going to make this a little smaller. We're going to go here. We're going to check up on, come on, Keynote, do your thing. There we go. Let's filter down here for cues. Do I have any cues? Skill says, I've not set up a time to do the thing. I know he's probably going to do it. I think he'll do it on my channel. We just don't know when. We talked about it yesterday. We just got to get it scheduled up for sure. Lou says, with all due respect, your theory is flawed because everyone's mechanics is different. But what skills theory is if you can stay on axis, whatever you're doing, if you can keep both dice on axis as a result, you'll hide the nines. If your on axis results are more than they should be, then you'll hide them. That is definitely his theory. We'll see if it's flawed or not. Let's let the guys do it out. And yeah, I can multi-stream CGTV and Casino Quest. Ultimately, it comes down to what's the point of keeping CGTV a thing, other than for personal projects, right? It could be for our Friday Night Fights and that kind of stuff, but we may start doing some of that stuff on the bigger channel, right? We have access to a bigger voice. Let's use the bigger voice. That's kind of how I look at some of that stuff. So let's check for PCs also. PC, any PC questions? Let's take a look here. Any PC comments? And then I'll close down the show here. There's a ton of PCs out here. All right. Dice Digest, check your accumulating losses to define an amount. Make that the hard loss limit. And that's kind of what Vince used to do. Vince Armenta used to do this in Windcraft. You'd play Windcrafts for a billion rolls and allow a negative balance, and eventually it would show you what the bottom cap is. That's how you determine that. And I think that the Dice Data guy can figure that out. I think he can do something like that, like what's the bottom thing. So we'll see about that. Let's see. Tom Marco says, does table impact impart a top spin on the dice into the wall? It shouldn't. What I'm throwing from the left side. The idea is, and I say this as the best visual I can give you, is picture a Frisbee. When you were a kid and you hit the Frisbee into the ground, you'd skip it off the ground, it would still fly up to your person and would still be spinning. Remember that when you would try to do the ricochet Frisbee thing? That's the chopper, right? That's what this toss is trying to do. It's trying to skip them off the deck into the back wall and still be spinning. If I can get to that point with every throw, now we're cooking with gas. Now you're saying the back wall is going to do what it's going to do. Sometimes the back wall is going to hit perfect and they're going to keep them going. Sometimes the back wall will scatter them, right? But if we can get 80 to 100% of our throws into the back wall with that skip spin going, whether it's a high toss in or a low flick in, either way does the same thing. That's the idea, right? We want that top spin to stay spinning. That's the whole key to it. And it's hard. That's why this throw is so freaking hard. Because if you screw it up at all, the dice are going everywhere. Like it's all or nothing, this throw. It is a comfortable throw. That's why I like it. Let's see. I think that's all I've got. No other questions or anything else being said in chat that needs to be answered. I think we could probably call it here. It's 8:39, a little longer than normal today. So, let's see. What else? The ones the outliers that I get are wild. I'm telling you, when I look at this, I go, yeah, I'm not getting typically a ton of box numbers. Right? Today was a different story, right? But when you see how many times the 1s and 6s stay in play for me, you're like, there's something to it. I don't know what. Like I said before, I don't know what it is. The math guys and the physics guys all think I'm crazy, right? You should, pick a side and call it bullshit. But I'm looking at this and I'm going, it seems like there's a lot of that, right? And it's like, it's intriguing to me. I'm like, I'm like a dog with a bone. I can't let it go. It's just interesting. Let's see. DI is just you versus the reaction. Am I able to get repeaters or off? It doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter. what matters is how it happens, right? Like some days, every single time we throw the dice, it's this, right? The top and bottom. One of them always works and the other one never works, right? If that's your day, that's your day. And cool, you can set a dice to kind of take advantage of that. If your day is both dice are always off axis and you're in here, then that's great, but there's a lot of sevens in there, right? So what you do, you change your top die to this, right? And then when they're both off axis, you have different sevens, right? That's the idea behind. I don't understand dice sets yet. I don't know them all. I know like 5. I don't know really how to pick and choose them yet. That's a job for Ed to teach me. But I think this is all interesting questions, right? So there we go. The energy question about the bridge. I did not see the energy question about the bridge. Let's see. So I'll get to that in a minute. So Scope. How do you say your name, Mankosheva. We'll try that. Maybe I'm right. Why not bet those numbers? He's talking about the horn or the top numbers, right? Why not bet the top numbers if they're showing up? Watch me on Fridays, right? I do a show on Fridays, if you're new to me, called Friday Follies, right? Friday Follies, I always play some kind of a crazy, wacky strategy, right? On Fridays, what I do is I hop the numbers. I hop the 1-1, the 1-2, the 1-3, the 1-4, the 1-5, and the 1-6. I hop all 6 numbers that have a 1 on them, and I take the same toss. And I just hop those numbers on a martingale. It's crazy to see if I can't capitalize on that, right? So far, I've won every single time I've tried it. Now, I don't recommend that you do a martingale on hopping, right? But that works for me. If this is working, that strategy should work, and I play it every Friday. Unless I'm playing roulette, I play that every Friday. Just for exactly to answer your question, that's why I do that, which is interesting. Let's see. Dura says Nemo had over 24% on some faces. Wow, that's amazing. 24% or 24 period. Skill saying, do I see the energy question about the bridge? What's the energy question about the bridge? I don't see the energy question about the bridge. Can you restate it? I don't know where that is. Did you put a Q in front of it? Bridge. You're going to teach dice data the bridge. I don't see the question, Skill. Can you put it back out there again? I don't see it anywhere. It wasn't prefaced where I can find it. Nemo, I'm starting to understand dice sets and what I want with the flea flicker. The thing is, the dice sets don't work, and Gargoyle will talk about this with us, and so will Ed. Dice sets don't work. Dice sets don't matter. It does not matter one bit unless you're perfect on the throw. Make sense? If your throw isn't doing the same thing every time, changing the dice set doesn't matter. If my landing zone today was 6 inches from the back wall, right? But only 1 out of 10 hit that landing spot, and the rest of them were different, or if they're landing where they're hitting and they're spinning off to the side like that, the dice set doesn't matter. Dice sets only matter if your throw is perfect and repeatable. Otherwise, it's all bullshit, right? You got to get your mechanics and your consistency perfect before you worry about a dice set. Dice sets mean dick if you're not perfect. And I think that's the most important lesson anybody could ever teach. Ed taught me that way back. He's like, dude, stop worrying about your dice set until you got your stuff right. So you can take this dice set right here and get consistent results where every 720 you're at the same threshold of whatever, then a dice set change matters because your mechanics are so perfect. But from table to table, that changes, right? That's the thing. Dice sets don't matter at all until you're perfect with your mechanics. Or unless your throw that day is doing the same thing every single day. It's so important to understand. So important. Skill says it's in the queue. I cannot find it, dude. I'm looking. If I do a queue search from Skill, I see the Gargoyle question. I see Louis' question. I see multi-stream. And I see, let's see. What do I see here? Please make sure enough time for questions. I don't see. Saquon going to win. I don't see your question, man. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. It's for whatever reason, it's not showing up here, Skill. I don't know why it's not coming. Just ask it again. Just ask it again because for some reason my thing that shows the quotes is just not showing it. I don't know why it got hidden somehow. So, all right, I'm gonna go. It's 8:45. We're so late. It's been an hour and a half show today. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. I see some new names in the chat. Good to see you. Good to have you here. We'll start doing some more streaming of this content over at CEG pretty soon. So that'll be exciting. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. And God bless you. John's out.